episode. Resurrect the Republic for our veterans.
Have your fears and your pain gone away. Here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. I hope the angels know what they have out there. It's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. Now tell me, what do you do up in heaven? Are your days filled with love and light? Is there music? Is there art and invention? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh,
Good morning.
I hope you're
Resurrect the Republic.
dancing in the sky.
Memorial to all our veterans.
I hope you're singing.
All our veterans and casualties of our unchecked wars.
And I hope that
Veterans that this administration is failing. Good morning. Welcome to Resurrect the Republic. Now, I've had several of my listeners reach out to me, and a couple of my good friends who are Marines who are now members of the Iraq Veterans Against the War. What are we doing? More wars this president said that he was going to pull us out of. No matter what your feelings are about the administration's actions when it comes to Benghazi and the IRS targeting the Tea Party affiliated 501c3 groups, the fact remains that neither of these alleged scandals have succeeded in bringing down President Obama, or they've proven to be much more than a political distraction, just an annoyance to the workings of the executive branch. I, for one, have pretty much had enough of it. I know you guys have too. 22 military veterans suicides a day in this country, on average. And what are we doing about it? What is the VA doing about it? What is President Obama doing about it? Pushing for yet more war. Now, I remember when President Obama was running, the only thing that I heard out of his mouth that I got behind, the only thing was that he was going to bring them home. We've seen that that has not only not happened, but the wars have escalated. Good morning from Resurrect the Republic, and Bruce, how are you today, sir?
Great. How are y'all?
Oh, well, we're doing okay.
That 14th Amendment, the 14th Amendment jurisdiction gets real complicated when you've got a guy that's a CEO, president of a corporation, the Municipal Corporation of the District of Columbia, doing business as the United States, DBA. You start understanding that as the president of a corporation, that's why he can have 28 different Social Security numbers, getting grants. At 27 of them, he gets grants as a foreign student. The 28th one he's using now as president and as senator according to Dr. Audley Tates. Look her up. I got her video on my web on the video under the video tabs at resurrecttherepublic.com or dirtyunclesam.com, and she shows the Social Security number that he uses as president. And remember, he has our launch codes, by the way, and the first 3 digits of the social show that he was born in the state of Connecticut, not Hawaii. And the social was issued to a lady born in the year 1870. It was long past. And that's what he's used as senator and as president. And he has our launch codes, by the way. Does that bother anybody?
My God. What have we done?
That was Dr.
What have we allowed? What have we allowed to happen here?
Dr. Orly Tates is a personal friend of mine. She was also a delegate at the CC09. She's the lady that sued Obama for the birth certificate. She sounds like the lady from Green Acres, but she's from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And anyway, she told me, she said she was on the Glenn Beck show. You guys think these people are going to expose the truth entirely? She says the most important part of Obama's lawsuit wasn't the birth certificate, is the fact he's used 27 different Social Security numbers to get grants as a foreign student. And the 28th Social Security number he's used as a senator and as a president, which begins, I believe, with 059, was stolen from a woman born in 1870 or 1890 in the state of Connecticut.
Well, I
would go to jail if I even tried to get a credit card doing something like that.
Right? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why is this man above the law when Nixon wasn't? Why was this man above the law?
You and I know why. You and I know why. And the reason why is because the Constitution that they are following in Washington, D.C.
is not their organic one.
It is not the Constitution that everyone else has in their hearts and minds. They have been brilliant at fooling the public into believing all of the fairy tales that they have told over the course of the decades. Administration after administration, and there was one president, a Democrat at that, one president that was going to expose it all. And look what happened to him. We all know what happened in Dealey Plaza. And if you guys remember the speech that President Kennedy gave, he discovered a ruthless conspiracy so pervasive that he was going to use his high office to expose that conspiracy, dismantle a good portion of the CIA, and you wonder why his brains ended up all over his wife's lap. These bankers are beyond out of control. They've taken over our country in a coup in 1868. When they talk to us about being domestic terrorists, about plotting the overthrow of the government. And everyone knows who listens to my show that I went vocally opposing the leadership of Operation American Spring. Not Operation American Spring in and of itself. Not the movement of people to stand up against the criminal, corrupt regime that has, and I tell you, I tell people you get very angry at Obama, you get distracted about the fact that he's a Muslim, not a Christian. All of that is a distraction, people. It's part of the psychological operation. He is a puppet of the corporation. If you really, and this was my primary argument with the leadership of OAS, was that you guys are attacking the wrong target. If you're going to have a successful, if you're going to win a battle, you have to aim for the target that is appropriate. Don't aim at the toe. You know where to aim. See you on the other side. Resurrect the Republic.
Rising to the challenge is the first step that you take. Are you a free spirit or a slave? Are the institutions that have molded our...
Do you love America? Do you support the right to bear arms? Do you have an opinion on the current immigration issue? Do you believe in the dollar? You have a voice. You have an opinion. Let it be heard. Go to AmericanFreedomSurvey.com right now and make your voice count. Do you like your rights taken away for the so-called sake of public safety? Do you want to repeal Obamacare? Go to AmericanFreedomSurvey.com today and fight back. All you have to do is fill out a short survey and you're done. Simple, easy, fast. For your time, you get entered to win free gold and silver. That's right. Get gold and silver free by filling out this short survey that enters you to win. AmericanFreedomSurvey.com. Go to AmericanFreedomSurvey.com today. That's AmericanFreedomSurvey.com.
That moment of panic, sheer terror, really. You're afraid to answer the phone, frightened by who might be at the door. If you're facing foreclosure or being harassed by debt collectors, you know the feeling. You need to visit whatliesinyourdebt.com to turn the tables on the banksters, collection agencies, and other crooks. Whatliesinyourdebt.com has solutions. Whatliesinyourdebt.com features live training webinars from experts, a member forum, support from experts who've been where you are right now and came out the other side in a better financial situation. If you are like millions of Americans who are behind on their mortgage, behind on their credit cards, or just being harassed by debt collectors, then this system is for you. We promise. If you cannot stop your foreclosure, even if it's imminent, if you cannot stop those debt collectors from bugging you, if you cannot clean up your credit, and finally, if you cannot make a few $1,000s during the entire process, make money from the debt collectors, yes, at whatliesinyourdebt.com, we will refund your money 100% in the first 60 days. Don't fear the bill collectors anymore. Visit whatliesinyourdebt.com.
World-renowned physician and stem cell expert Dr. David Steenblock, DO, and his research staff have spent years developing all-natural formulations that support the body's own stem cell production and mobilization system. An everyday stem cell supplement, creating the birth of Stemgevity. Stemgevity stem cell mobilization formula is for use by men, women, and children of all ages to support your body's stem cell system naturally, quickly, and safely. Stemgevity helps support your heart and circulatory system, bones and joints, liver, skin, brain, and much more. Order your bottle now at stemgevity.com today. That's STEMGEVITY, stemgevity.com. Or call now toll-free, 800-300-1063. Buy 2 bottles and receive a 3rd bottle free by mentioning RBN. Anyone who wants to get healthy needs Stemgevity. Call 800-300-1063 today.
Resurrect the Republic. ResurrectTheRepublic.com. Guys, if you could do us a favor, go to ResurrectTheRepublic.com. Click on PayPal. Donate if you want to get behind our work and our show. It would be mostly appreciated. We survive off of the public donations. That is all we survive off of. We have no corporate sponsors. That being said, what we're talking about is what President Johnson described, as we've repeated time and time again, as an unlawful government, a de facto government that has become untouchable. The way that it was installed, it has grown like a frog in the pot, so that the American public has grown accustomed to its usurpations. One such usurpation, ignoring our veterans, is one thing, and that is something that we are going to be on their heels about. But I don't know how many of you have heard of the Financial Institutions Reform, Recovery, and Enforcement Act of 1989. What I'm talking about is House Resolution 1278. We have a very interesting audio for you to listen to this morning that is posted on Western Journalism, and it will be posted on ResurrectTheRepublic.com after today's show. There's already a video posted to our Facebook accounts, both the Resurrect the Republic site, my page, Bruce's page, and we'll be at PatriotFB.com before the end of the day. If you could, please roll that audio. believe we're having technical difficulties. Resurrect the Republic release.
Obama and his right-hand man, Eric Holder, are using a legal backdoor to disarm the American public and nullify the Second Amendment. Using an obscure section of the Financial Institutions Reform, Recovery, and Enforcement Act, the Department of Justice is forcing banks to cease doing business with gun and ammunition dealers under a program called Operation Choke Point. Thousands of gun and ammunition dealers are on the verge of bankruptcy as businesses without banking services cannot function. Credit cards cannot be processed. Cash deposits cannot be made.
What are we doing? Choke Point targets legal businesses for asphyxiation. From the Daily Caller today, on May 29th, House Oversight and Government Reform Committee Chairman Darrell Issa released a staff report, Department of Justice's Operation Choke Point, illegally choking off legitimate businesses. The report concludes that the true goal of the operation is to choke out certain industries, including legal businesses like sellers of firearms and ammunition, which the current administration considers politically objectionable. The report follows the Department of Justice's launch last year of Operation Choke Point, a wide-ranging investigation into banks and payment processors, the middlemen between the banks and the merchants in financial transactions. The DOJ claimed that the operation was aimed at combating mass-market consumer fraud by shutting down access to the banking and payment systems that are necessary for fraudulent businesses to operate. Justification was an alleged higher risk profile for consumer fraud, potentially illegal activities associated with some merchants or activities identified by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. These men have done nothing wrong. These businesses have done nothing wrong. These high-risk merchants are typically characterized by high rates of unauthorized transactions, consumer complaints, or evidence of state and federal regulatory and criminal actions against the business customer. This is ridiculous.
Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Can I say one quick thing?
Absolutely.
Subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Yes. Yes. Subject to. You guys get the point? The Second Amendment was overthrown in 1868. The illusion that we have a Second Amendment they had to allow us to have so that it did not become painfully obvious until, and you guys see the accelerator, the foot on the accelerator now. All of you people that said that we were conspiracy theorists, that the Second Amendment still existed. Well, it exists in our hearts, it exists in our minds, and it exists in a lot of state representatives. It does. But where it does not exist is in Washington, D.C. Now, I don't know if you guys remember Dan Bongino, the Secret Service agent who won in Maryland, but he said it's worse than you know. It's worse than you know. Even behind closed doors, they don't even use the language that they use in front of the public. That's beyond dishonest. We have them ignoring our veterans. Our veterans are dying at a higher rate at home than they are overseas. Fast and Furious, IRS targeting, Benghazi. I mean, my God, what took out Richard Nixon? A break-in.
Hey, Tom, what about all the experiments they did on our GIs in the past?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I mean, God dang. I mean, it's sad enough, you're right, that they don't honor the vows to take care of them. But what about how they use them for experiments and everything else? I mean, look at the Korean War. Remember what Myron Fagan said about the Korean War? How the Russian general was the one in charge of the UN, and we had to get his permission to do everything before we can do it. So the communists knew every move we did before we did it.
Yes, exactly. And
I mean, that's
remember who signed?
Of our boys.
Yeah, and remember who just signed the UN Small Arms Disarmament Treaty. Absolutely.
And that's what gets me about this jurisdiction. It's fraudulent. It stems from a act of treason, which is the highest crime you can commit in this country. And it would be so judgmental to tell you don't have a right to own guns when you do and they don't. And you don't have a right. You're the felon, you can't do this and you that. You know, and okay, well, maybe a person that's a felon isn't the best person in the world. But at the same time, the jurisdiction that's making that decision and saying you have this right and you don't have this right comes from an act of treason, which is worse than it's like the parable. You know, take the log out of your eye before you worry about the splinter in your neighbor's eye.
I tell you, Obama administration, they are freezing assets and checking lines of credit for gun retailers, ignoring our veterans as they die at home and sending them off to more wars. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors to Resurrect the Republic.
Never change. The rhetoric they speak is all the same. The men behind the curtain and the illusion they create pull the puppet strings and seal our fate.
This is Dr. Robert Rowan, here to give you an important message regarding stem cell.
The IRS is a private corporation, not a government agency. Income tax is collected by voluntary compliance. To learn to unvolunteer or discontinue volunteering into the IRS, visit escapeharassment.com and immediately implement Strategy 1. The process must be repeated each and every time. Paper, letter, envelope, presentment, etc. Always and forever. Failure equates to acceptance, subsequent resultant contract, and you pay or go to jail by your own consent and agreement contract. Avoid recontracting. Visit escapeharassment.com and implement Strategy 1 immediately. Bar lawyers and accountants won't help you. Why wait? Get Strategy 1 and immediately implement it to divorce the IRS today and forever. That's escapeharassment.com, Strategy 1, to be free from the IRS. Escapeharassment.com.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years. And Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendovite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
How important is the air you breathe? Our air purifiers produce activated oxygen, called aerin. Activated oxygen is the natural enemy of odors, pollutants, and many other harmful substances, yet it's completely safe. Our powerful air purifiers unleash the power of a thunderstorm, destroying pollutants in the air we breathe. It destroys many viruses, bacteria, and fungi, kills molds, and oxidizes chemical fumes and toxic gases. It removes smoke, pollen, and pet odors. Made with quality stainless steel, our portable air purifiers come with a manufacturer's 4-year warranty. If you haven't experienced the air and process of fresh, clean air, then call us today and receive 10% off your order. 877-605-9200. Again, that's 877-605-9200. Time for you to breathe clearly again. 877-605-9200.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
We will strike like a snake coiled up in the night. Watch your step
Welcome back to Resurrect the Republic. We need to learn to stand up for our veterans, and I tell you, I for one, I'm just absolutely set aside by the one scandal after another. We just had a friend of mine in Norway, who I went on his show with Brian Steminetti, filmmaker that works with Sean Stone and Tyrell Ventura, Mike Chikanowicz from Norway. This is his comment. Surviving veterans know some things most people do not know. They have experienced the horrors of war. They have participated in the horrors of war, and therefore they have not had to have asked some questions about life and death and the meaning of our struggles. In actuality, there is no honor in this choice, only sorrow and pain, as well as the creation of karma for their future and the learning of the lessons of life. I quote a client, the past life regression after participating in the wars in and around Germany. What did you learn? To never make the same mistake again. Beth Hilton from Indiana says, end the bankers' wars. I agree. Callers, we have the call-in number if you'd like to take part in this conversation is 800-313-9443. Please feel free to call in and tell us how you feel.
Hey, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Well, you notice Reconstruction, after we had the Civil War, Reconstruction is where the American military was used against American civilians. There was declared no law in the 10 of the 11 southern states. Tennessee was the one they didn't do this to. They went along with the 14th Amendment, usurped. And the women and children that basically remained in the war-torn South, they were allowed, the soldiers were allowed to do whatever they pleased to them. American citizens on American soil. And they did. They raped them. They murdered them. They burned them alive in their plantations and their homes. Our American troops, United States soldiers, to American citizens on American soil. They don't teach this in our history books.
No, they don't. As a matter of fact, they teach the opposite.
They did this for Reconstruction, and they don't even talk about it in the Civil War era. But if you want to research it, type in Posse Comitatus, 1876, because there's dang near ready to be another Civil War back then because of them doing this. And this was the guarantee that would never happen again. was passe comitatus. That would never happen again to the American people. They never would have to fear that our soldiers would ever rape and murder them again. Our women or our children.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
are allowed to do it to the Afghans, I guess.
Yeah, for those of the listeners out there, and we have a few, and a couple of them I really love with all my heart. Becky Williams is running for governor of Texas. When I went on the radio and addressed this 14th Amendment usurpation, she said, well, you're very knowledgeable, and I know all about the usurpation, and she knew about the 14th Amendment not being ratified, but her sensibilities were somewhat shot when she said, but sir, I'd like to correct your great knowledge. Our military didn't do that. This is the level of psychological operation that very good people, very knowledgeable people that even know about the usurpation. Well, how did it get usurped if not by the force of a gun?
Oh, Tom, one more thing. After they used our military to conquer the last patriotic stronghold they had in our country that wouldn't go along with this 14th Amendment thing, this patriotic South, then in 1876 they also, or 1877, once this corporation just finally got established, and looking like what our former government was, what's the first thing they tried to do? Disarm the American people. Not before this. Had the government ever tried. In fact, the National Electrical Association was founded that same very year to combat that effort. I believe it was 1877. The corporation hasn't been established 6 years. We're just fixing to go into a bankruptcy where U.S. Inc. restructured and United States government incorporated. And all of them are under links on Dirty Uncle Sam. Just feel free to read them. I mean, towards the bottom.
We have a caller, Ed in Kentucky. How are you?
Hey guys, what's up? How you guys doing today?
Very good, sir. How are you?
You guys are doing a hell of a job, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And you know I listen to your show all the time, so... let me ask you something, Mr. Bruce. You said the way you got all this written up, like it's a legal brief that you would present, like in a lawsuit?
No, I do have it wrote up under articles I've been published under, like if you click under documents on resurrecttherepublic.com, We the Sheeple, except I added the PDF so the documents support the article, so they're law-driven. And from Constitution over Corporate, how the modern American slave came to be, right below that. I have most of those links that go right to the Library of Congress on that one, because a lot of the same links in both articles.
But to answer, hold on, to also add in there is, if you go to resurrecttherepublic.com and click on articles, the very first article, it's stuck to the top. It's the 14th Amendment is unconstitutional. We give you not the poison fruits, we give you the tree. And in that article is basically it was prepared for Colonel Riley by Bruce and myself, and it was prepared for him in a form that he could present it as a redress of grievances towards the administration. And he promised that he would do so, and he neglected to do that. He lied to us about that. He did not present that, and it could have been an enormous opportunity to use the publicity and the attention that was being generated by Operation American Spring is one of the reasons why I was so absolutely disgusted, because we had an opportunity to present this research in its entirety, and it was blown.
Well, see, here's the thing. Why can't we just, as a people, like, do something to where represent some sort of lawsuit, because they're breaking the law, it's against the law, they know it's against the law, that's the daggone thing about it. All these decades, every house, every session has wrote off on it. It's like, yeah, we know it's illegal, so what? What are you going to do about it? And, it's simple. It's called, you got petition to recall, which a lot of people ain't familiar with, and really, that's you go ask Governor Walker of Minnesota about a petition to recall. That gets any politician very, 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 very nervous.
Yes.
Plus, there's articles of impeachment, which is a little bit lengthier in detail and in action. They're outright breaking the law. There's something that so you think? I'm a disabled vet. I'm a disabled vet, and for my time in service, I had to live off $895 a month between VA and Social Security.
That's deplorable.
Thank you for serving your country. Thank you for serving your country.
I thank you, sir. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the absolute bottom of my heart, and I know that all of my listeners extend you this as well. I thank you for your service, and I am so absolutely intent that you're treated that way. It's one of the reasons why Bruce and I work tirelessly every single day. We're working at this because we've devoted our lives to this, and I thank you, sir, for your service. I certainly do appreciate it.
Anytime.
It's infuriating. There's no excuse.
It's sad because I've been dealing with a tooth infection for 5 years. It's cost me half my left jaw, and nobody held accountable. And I was also on one of those special projects. And I'm trying to find out who's in charge of investigating these special project stuff because I would like to talk to them because I got evidence of this. I'm still dealing with it. And everybody still got their jobs. Isn't that great? We're great paychecks and benefits and can't fire us. So you veterans, you guinea pigs and lab rats, you come right on in here. And we'll mistreat you any way we can. Because there's no honor. And those veterans that work there a lot of times, they're turncoats. They turn bootlicker. And to me, that's when you stop being a brother and sister to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, the honor code is you stand up for what's right, no matter what the cost.
Yes.
But they get in there, I got a cushy job now. Yeah, don't you forget the blood that you see spilled? You forget the people that you watch come home in a flag grade box? Well, I sat in the back of C-130s and C-141s with those flag grade boxes.
I understand.
Knowing at any given time I could be in one of those boxes.
God bless you, sir. We have to break for our sponsors, but God bless you. We'll see you guys on the other side of Resurrect the Republic.
Dozens of diseases ranging from the common cold and flu to...
Woo, nice shooting. Hey, that's a sweet AK-47 chest rig. Is that multicam?
Yep, got it from StrikeHardGear.com.
Strike what?
StrikeHardGear.com.
Set your sights on StrikeHardGear.com. Tough, tactical gear for your Soviet-style weapon that's made in the USA. Affordable, plus a no-questions-asked 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime replacement warranty. StrikeHardGear.com. Go ahead, pull the trigger.
This is Dr. Robert Rowan, here to give you an important message regarding stem cell treatment. World-renowned physician, stem cell expert, and friend Dr. David Steenblock has performed over 8,000 stem cell treatments since 2001. Bone marrow stem cells are completely legal to do here in the USA. The bone marrow stem cell treatment is not only fast, done in less than 2 to 3 hours, but is relatively pain-free and has little to no recovery time. Dr. David Steenblock and his office are able to help and treat patients who suffer from cerebral palsy, traumatic brain injury, stroke, macular degeneration, arthritis, Parkinson's disease, congestive heart failure, and more. Personally using their services for my knee and seeing great improvement, Dr. David Steenblock is highly recommended by me. Go to stemcellmd.org or call 800-300-1063 to find out more. Again, stemcellmd.org or call 800-300-1063 today to receive more information.
Herbal Healer Academy presents its spring specials. All sizes of our 500 parts per million colloidal silver are on sale, along with products to help you lose weight, like apple cider vinegar, Hoodia, Metabolic Complex, and Pro Metabolic. That's not all. Anti-Parasite Intestinal Freedom, Wormwood Plus Complex, Stevia Liquid Sweetener, and the Super Enzymes are on sale. Visit herbalhealer.com to order yours. Request our free 128-page catalog. Healing the world with nature, one person at a time. herbalhealer.com.
I'm Larry Pratt of Gun Owners of America, and I want to invite you to join the Second Amendment movement with Gun Owners of America, the only no-compromise gun lobby in Washington. Take action by becoming a GOA member today by going to gunowners.org. Gun Owners members receive the GOA newsletter, fact sheets, alerts, certificates, and more. But there's more to joining GOA than just a list of member benefits. The united voice of GOA members has been successful in defeating restrictive legislation designed to disarm our population. GOA has helped to get strong constitutional members of Congress like Senator Ted Cruz elected. And with your help, GOA will continue to successfully defend the rights of gun owners in the courts. Participate in our efforts to restore and preserve the nation's right to keep and bear arms. All contributions to our lobbying efforts are used exclusively to support or oppose firearms legislation. Join online at gunowners.org.
There are many water filters to choose from, but there is only one system that is consistently customer rated 5 stars as the #1 system for effective filtration of fluoride, radiation, drug residues, heavy metals, a wide range of radioisotopes, and more. Introducing the Pure Effect Ultra, the next generation water filter that also raises alkaline pH, improves antioxidant potential, and has advanced anti-radiation technology, all while using no electricity. Sold worldwide, it provides virtually instant clean water on demand. It is not made in China, and the shipping is free to all 50 states. Buy your Pure Effect Ultra today by visiting pureeffectfilters.com. or call 888-891-4821. Again, that's 888-891-4821. Or visit pureeffectfilters.com.
Corruption is the cause of all our woes. Call it what it is. These global banks to rats. Arrest them and deport.
Welcome back to Resurrect the Republic. ResurrectTheRepublic.com. ResurrectTheRepublic.com. Please go to ResurrectTheRepublic.com on the right-hand side and click on PayPal. Help us out. We are doing a fundraising drive. That's why I keep mentioning it. We're putting money into a media truck, and we already have it. We need to equip it. It needs some add-ons to it so that we can go out to these places that are hotbeds of the liberty movement, Connecticut, New York, Washington, D.C. I'm still in Arizona from being out at the Bundy Ranch, and we'll be returning back to New Jersey within the next few weeks after we're finished in the studio here. So we could use your support. It's greatly needed. That being said, we were discussing the absolute ignorance that's coming from this administration, according, on behalf of our veterans, targeting them to take their firearms rights away, and now Operation Choke Point. Everyone write that down, type it into your web browser, go to my Facebook page or my patriotfb.com page, or the Resurrect the Republic RBN radio show page on Facebook, where we post all of the articles that we talk about, as well as resurrecttherepublic.com. Operation Choke Point. Operation Choke Point. High-risk label from Fed puts gun sellers in banks' crosshairs. This is the Washington Times. Gun retailers say the Obama administration is trying to put them out of business with regulations and investigations that bypass Congress and choke off their lines of credit, freeze their assets, and prohibit online sales. Since 2011, regulators have increased scrutiny on banks' customers. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation in 2011 urged banks to better manage the risks of their merchant customers to enjoy payment processors, such as PayPal, for credit card transactions. The FDIC listed gun retailers as a high risk, along with porn stores and drug paraphernalia shops. Meanwhile, the Justice Department has launched Operation Choke Point, a credit card fraud probe focusing on banks and payment processors. These people have not committed any crimes. This is the absolute, total political manipulation and targeting of law-abiding citizens and business owners to disarm the American people. We tried telling you, I tried saying for many years that they are going to do this. I was called a nut job. That they would never do this. They would never, ever seek to do this. We have another caller, Beth in Indiana. Beth, how are you, dear?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, very good. Well, you know, we're on fire this morning.
I see that.
How are you today? What would you like to tell us?
It's just, I don't even know. I have so much going on right now. What they're doing to the American people is sickening. It's sickening. It's disgusting, and we all need to stand.
I agree, and I do believe that you've helped doing that. You've helped this show enormously, and you're the one that put me in touch with Sheriff Brad Rogers. And it was wonderful to have Sheriff Rogers on our show and standing up for the Second Amendment. As a matter of fact, he said that he would not tolerate these federal usurpations in his county. And now it seems as though the Obama administration is lining themselves up and preparing for that eventuality in other legislation that we're going to be highlighting on Monday's show, where they are empowering the military in times that if local officials, and this is how it's worded, if local officials fail or refuse to do what they're calling their duty, in other words, if they stand against the administration, they will just be taken out.
Well, then I guess there's going to be a big group of people standing shoulder to shoulder with people you would never have thought you would have stood shoulder to shoulder with.
That's a fact, because I can tell you this right now. Try and stand against Brad Rogers. Good
luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Tell me how that works out for you.
Yep.
Tell me how that works out for you. This administration, they're playing with the powder keg, and they're doing it intentionally. I tell you right now, that man, Sheriff Brad Rogers, he took his oath seriously, and he took an oath to what, in his mind, in his heart, the organic Constitution. The 10th Amendment basically overrides all of these unconstitutional federal laws. They had 18 enumerated powers, and the 10th Amendment was empowered to empower the state sovereignty. And the county sheriff, and the reason why the county sheriff is under assault right now is because there are many very honorable county sheriffs who have put their foot down, they've drawn their line in the sand, they've made it clear that if you cross this line, there will be resistance. Now, we don't want... Yeah, and I tell you, it's essential. We must stand. Now, nobody wants war. Bruce and I have a peaceful solution. 100% lawful, peaceful resolution to this entire situation. Let us come into court and present to the Supreme Court justices our evidence that the 14th Amendment is unconstitutional and it was never properly, lawfully ratified. That 14th Amendment collapses and we have our Second Amendment back. Really, we've never lost it. It's just a figment of a psychological manipulation and operation by the federal government to make us believe that we are subject to this corporate jurisdiction that does not lawfully exist. It exists because they have control of vast, powerful resources, but it takes the American people behind those guns. They're going to have to move in foreigners. And this is, by the way, a conversation that I had with my friend Mark in Philadelphia as to why they may be letting all of these immigrants come in and flood into their country. They have something over them, too, the fact that they're illegal.
Yes.
So What happens when they start enforcing these firearms restrictions? What happens when they start doing the out-and-out bans, but hire groups of these individuals and grant them citizenship that have no... Right, exactly. This is what I see happening. I think that there's a reason behind them letting all of these criminals out, and I'm not talking about all immigrants being criminals, but the criminal offenders out of this immigrant class, letting them out of the jails and into the communities. This is why they're doing it. These are going to be the ones that they use against us when martial law is declared, and they find Americans putting their guns down on the deck and saying, we're not going to do this. Okay, here you go. Here's somebody that will, because we have something over them.
Right.
That's what I'm concerned with. Well, yes. I tell you, it's essential right now that we all come together in peace and start planning. What are we going to do? Like this argument that we have, I call it a jurisdictional argument for a reason. It's exactly what it is. The 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution is where they enacted gun control to begin with. It started against the African American race because they knew that they could get it away with it. And at the same time, they pushed the 14th Amendment in the guise that it freed the black people. How maniacally brilliant to grant someone so-called equality, which is we're all equal debt slaves, up off of one plantation and put them on an invisible debt enslavement plantation, and at the same time enforce gun control on their heads to use the bigotry that was being used against them. Wake up, people. We'll see you in the next episode of Resurrect the Republic. ResurrectTheRepublic.com. God bless all of you. May the Lord Jesus Christ be with you all.